I didn't let anybody else's nonsense stop me from doing and building and growing the things that I wanted to do, build, and grow.
Absolutely honest to hear it. So beautiful.
Imagine if this was an empowered community of women living according to your purpose, your true purpose, fulfilled and empowered. Imagine. And just us in the room, we could change the world.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are testing a new system, as you can tell. So introducing you to our brand new platform here at Women's Business Club. Hopefully you're connected okay, you can see this, you can hear this, and that we're going to have a great power hour together. So just to explain, just so you understand where we're at, Women's Business Club are building a fantastic new platform. It's going to have all the bells and whistles to support you in your business journey. And I'm very much looking forward to making this available to businesswomen across the world and in your own language, addressing issues that you're facing. I mean, this is really going to be something spectacular, but we're in the early stages. So if you are accessing the platform, you will find that there are still things that are not available or things still being developed, or maybe you might even come across some bugs. So I do ask for your patience, please. But I also ask that you keep in touch. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you see any bugs or if you see anything, even things that you'd like to have added. But today you're experiencing just the live stream portion, and the live stream portion will be available to you to also go live. You will be able to do lives on this platform. You will be able to share your business on this platform. You can already follow other users. And in February, I'm super excited. We're going to be introducing an entire events module. And so there is a webinar for that as well. The events module is going to be Eventbrite, but better and cheaper, if that makes any sense. We're going to put our events on there, and you're invited to put your events on there. So more of that is coming. Check your emails, because I will be sending invitations out for that. So that's just a little bit about the platform that you are viewing this on. I'm just going to quickly check that it's all working okay. Oops, yes, there. It's all working okay. And at the moment, there's no, engagement facilities, so we aren't able to chat and we aren't able to leave comments at this stage. But in the next few webinars to come, it's going to be a fully functional live stream suite. So the goal really is to build this platform where you have everything you need in one place. There's a social element, you can connect and follow and chat with each other. There's a learning element where you can do courses and webinars and watch live streams like this. There's an AI element where you can ask questions and engage with our AI to get support in your business. There'll be a marketplace where you can buy and sell from each other, and so much more. So I won't go into it much more than that. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to what you're watching this Power Hour on. And then secondly, just say hi from myself. I always forget to introduce myself, and you'd like to know who you're speaking with. My name is Angela De Souza, and I'm the founder and the CEO of Women's Business Club. We started way back in 2013 and have evolved, as we all have in business. Several things in the world have forced us all to evolve and adapt, and so that's where we're at. And really remain passionate about supporting you, enabling, empowering women to succeed in business or in their career. I don't want to talk too much about that. I want to get on with the Power Hour because I'm super excited about it. One of my favorite things to talk about is vision. Like, it's just such a game changer. If we don't have vision, we perish. If we don't have vision, who knows where we're going to end up. Not having vision is like putting your destination in your car, sat nav, or on Google Maps. If you don't put it in there, who knows where you'll end up if you start driving. If you put a destination in there, you've got direction. There may be some detours, but you'll get there. And that for me just is what vision is like. It's like having that destination to put into your sat nav, or it's like your lighthouse that you are sailing towards. It really is your guiding light. But I'm not going to waffle on about that either, because what I've done is a little video that I have done previously, and I thought I'd quite like to share that video with you today on the topic, because first of all, I don't think I could do it any better than that. So I think that is the best version. And it also just gives us an opportunity to maybe take notes and recap and just really set our vision for 2024. I really feel strongly that this year, for many of us, is going to be the year where we break through into post-pandemic recovery, like we had last year, and we thought last year was our year, and we were all finding our feet again. And I do feel, generally speaking, that many businesses, many people just feel like this is the year now when we are going to start living and thriving in our new normal. Last year we were still finding our feet. This year we can really do things. So I'd love to help you. I'd love to encourage you in setting a really good, inspiring vision this year for yourself, for your business, for your personal, professional growth, and really go for it. Really go for it. Another trend that I've noticed that I just want to share with you before I share the video is I've noticed a lot of women that I'm speaking with are saying they want to slow down. They want to achieve more, but not by doing more. And I love that. I love that I'm seeing this trend of people saying, last year, we overdid it. Last year, we nearly burnt ourselves out. Last year, we were pushing so much to get back on track after what we'd been through the past few years. And this year, and I feel the same way myself, and I wonder if many of you feel the same way. This year, it's a case of, right, let's pace ourselves. Let's get into a healthy pace. Let's get into a healthy rhythm of life. Yes, we have a grand vision. Yes, we want to do big things, but we don't want to burn out in the process. And so I'm speaking with a lot of women who are saying, I want to do less, but I want to achieve more. And that's brilliant. I love that. And that's another thing that vision can do. It can help you to get to that place of finding a really healthy rhythm, steering you in the right direction, but enjoying the journey. Not killing yourself in the process, but really managing to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. So as I said, I'm going to hand over to the other Angela, last year's version of myself, and I'm going to share this little video with you, and I hope it's useful. And I'm even going to take notes on my own video so that I can improve my vision this year. Right, so here we go. Enjoy.
So you don't have to be great to start, but you need to start to be great. And that's a fantastic Zig Ziglar quote. And too often we despise the small things. We look at the small things and maybe write them off, or maybe we're not excited about them, or maybe we just think, oh, that's just small potatoes, we're really going to go anywhere with that. But actually, everything great starts in seed form. And you don't know what the little seed that you have now in your business, in a relationship, in life, you don't know what little seed you have that's going to blossom into something great. If you think about any, food or vegetable, trees to make wood for houses or paper or whatever, all those amazing, great things in nature, they started in seed form. They started in something teeny tiny. And it's the same for us. We mustn't despise the small beginnings. We mustn't despise the start of something, and we mustn't despise it if it's small. But what we need to do is think about what it could grow into. Dream the dream. And that's what I want to talk about tonight, is I want to talk about how we can help you, how you can take that small thing and build it into the dream. So I'm hoping you're all here this evening with the dream in your heart, in your head, or maybe you want to get a bit of inspiration tonight. But what we're going to do is we're going to be building the dream backwards. I'm not sure if you cottoned on what that means or not, but I'm going to be sharing with you how we're going to build your dream backwards. And so the reason I say build your dream backwards is because the dream is very much like a sat-nav destination, isn't it? You have to know where you're going. You have to put a destination in the sat-nav so that you can actually start traveling in the right direction. And it's the same with a dream. You know, if you don't have your dream, if you don't know where you're going, you could end up anywhere. Your dream helps you set the trajectory. It helps you to point in the right direction and then take the steps to get there. So what is your big dream? What is it that you think, oh, that's too big, I can't do it, or I wish I could do that, but I don't see how, or that's amazing, but I don't know how to start, don't know how to get there. So I'm going to give you some really cool steps this evening, and I've done an acrostic based on the word dream, because I love little puzzles and acrostics and alliterations and whatever I can do to make a talk a little bit catchy. I like to do that, and so I've come up with something that works with the word dream, which is really cool. For, you know, I just think it's really fun. So we're going to start with D. So D in dream, guess what it stands for? Design the dream. And we are going to start with your big dream. We're not going to start with where you're at now. We're not going to start with a small seed, even though we know the small seed can grow into the big dream. But we're going to start with the big dream. But you need to be fully immersed in this big dream. You need to be able to see it clearly in full color, 3D. You need to be able to see this big dream. You need to be able to smell anything that's related to this dream. Are there lilies? Can you smell them? Is there hops because you're brewing beer? Yeah, are there any smells associated with this big dream? You need to be able to close your eyes and see it in full color 3D and smell it. You know, are there any textures? Just, you have to engage your senses, all of your senses. Are there any tastes? If I talk to you now about a lemon, I can't remember the exact statistics, but if we have a conversation around a lemon, a lovely fresh yellow lemon, and we squeeze it into a glass of sparkling water, and you can smell the lovely fresh lemon, many of us will start to taste lemon on our tongues. That's how powerful the mind is. Did anyone taste lemon when I spoke about a lemon? I might have had to go on a bit longer to achieve that, but the point is, you need to be that engaged with your big dream that if you know, you can taste and you can smell and you can see and you can hear. Are there any sounds associated with your dream? Is there music, or are there birds chirping, or are there sound of children running around because your dream is to build a particular type of school? Like, think of all the senses involved in your dream. And then get yourself in that headspace where you can actually close your eyes and you can walk around and you can look at the various elements of your dream. My dream is, I mean, most people who know me, they know my dream. It's very simple. But my big dream is I want to end up on a farm. I want to have a lovely farmhouse. I want to work from home. I want to have chickens. And I see myself sometimes when I'm thinking about my dream, just sitting on the bench under the weeping willow tree by the pond, just watching the water, the ripples on the water. And in my mind, I know that I have a home office, a lovely stone wall, maybe a little fireplace. And I know that that's where I write, that's where I prepare my talks, and I know that that is something I'm going to be doing well into my grey years. And I am working on my grey already, but well into my grey years. I don't plan to retire, I just plan to slow down. So I like fully engage with my dream, and sometimes I just go there in my head, and then I just add a few little details, like, oh, maybe this would be nice. But the point is, it's clear. I'm super clear on what the dream is. I've designed it in my head, I've designed it on paper, I've written down the elements that are essentials and those that are nice to have. You know, having an open fire, that's non-negotiable in my farmhouse. And that's the lifestyle I want to live. I want to live that lifestyle now all the way through to my old age, and I want to work and I want to play from that place. And so that's my big dream. And I'm not going to spend the whole time in telling you all the details of my dream, but I want to share with you the details that you need to go into for your dream. Design your dream. Design it in your mind, then write down on paper. Write down somewhere every little detail that you can think of that's important to your dream. And our dreams, they can have little like accessories, or you could have a dream and you could have little other things that you want to bolt onto it, maybe more short-term things. My dream, I'd love to have it tomorrow. Absolutely love it if I could just fall into that, but that's unlikely to happen. So I'm willing to sacrifice a little longer to get there, And I know that there are certain little bolt-ons that I can do along the way to achieve that. So design the dream, big picture, full color, in detail. And then we're going to reverse engineer from that place. So the R in dream is reverse engineer. Start with the big picture and then slowly work backwards. And the way that works is that you need to look at your dream and then start breaking it down. So you've got your big dream. I've got my farmhouse. I'm just going to use this as an example to make it easy to follow. I've got my farmhouse. So what do I need to have in place? Okay, I need to have a certain income or a certain amount of money available. So what do? I write down finance. There's a finance section to reverse engineering, and I do some research and I see how much houses like that are on the market and kind of what area I want to live in and all the sorts of things I need. And I write down, okay, here are the financial goals. This is the best case scenario. And then I reverse engineer. I say, right, I need, let's just say 1.5 million or whatever. And then I reverse engineer it. How much do I have now? Yeah, I leave about 1,499. I'm joking. And then what you need to do is you need to say, right, so between that big goal and where I am now, I need to reverse engineer some reasonable steps. So if I need 1.5 million, what can I have, say, 10 years prior? Or if your dream's a little bit nearer, 1 year. What do I need to have within the year? What do I need to have within the month? What do I need to have within the week? How can I do something towards that today? So you've reverse engineered the financial side of it all the way back to today. And even if today is 0 or minus 0, all the way back today, and then I can start walking forward in those steps because I know where I'm going to end up. So if I've gone from like 500,000 to 1 million to 500,000 to 100,000 to 10,000 to £10 or whatever, from the big dream all the way back, then I know within this time frame to go forward towards the dream. I now need to get that £10. I need to get that 100. I need to get that 1,000, etc., etc. So I'm trying to break it down into really round numbers to make it easy for us. You reverse engineer. You look at other elements. What needs to be in place in your dream? If it's your business, what's the big dream? And then you could reverse engineer, right, I need to have 25 staff members, and now I have 2 or 5. So what's the gap between the 25 and the 5? And then break it down, reverse engineer it. Okay, I need to then move on to 10. I need to move on to 15. I need to move on to 20. And then you can work your way forward once you reverse engineered it. And so there's so many details. Your dreams are also different, and I won't be able to give examples for everything, but I hope it gives you an idea. Start with a big picture and pull it apart and take it apart as much as possible. And then you can start building a plan to move forwards again. In engineering, an example would be that, say, for example, it was a word toaster, right? They would be given a toaster. That's the big dream, metaphorically. They would unpack the toaster, take out every screw, nut and bolt, every movable piece, lay it out, and then they would have to put it back together one piece at a time to see how it's built. That's reverse engineering in actual engineering terms. I didn't explain it too well, but you get the gist of it. You can do the same with your dream. The more detail, the better. The more detail, the more likely you are to get there and not have too many detours. There are some things that I will do and some things that I won't do because I know that I need to maybe have a short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. So when all my friends are going out buying shoes, I'm not. Why? Because I'm sacrificing shoes, and I really can't be bothered about shoes, but I'm sacrificing shoes because I know that if I go out shopping and buy all these expensive, lovely Jimmy Choos, I know the cost on the dream. I know that I'm not going to be able to get there and I'll be messing up my plan. So it's the same for you. If you've reverse engineered, you know what you need to do, you're more likely to be able to make the short-term sacrifices that you need to make because you're clear on the long-term gain. You're clear on the next steps you have to take. And then the E in dream is end goals. So what you then need to start doing with your lovely reverse engineered plan is you need to start making yourself end goals, so boxes to tick. If you're like me, you like a good to-do list, you'd like a good box to tick. I think most people do, because there are certain happy hormones released when you tick that box, and that applies to everyone. But some of us particularly love it, don't we, Sarah? End goals. So end goals, you are going to start getting a little bit more proactive with your dream, and you're going to write your end of year goal, your end of month goal, your end of week goal, your end of day goal. You're going to start breaking down what you've reverse engineered into very clear goals. I mean, it could be end of decade goal. It depends how big and far in the future your dream is, but write down end goals. Okay, at the end of a decade, this is where I need to be up to. Then you go back. At the end of the year, I need to be at this point. The end of each year, so the end of every year for 10 years. And then you break that down into the end of the month, and then the end of the week. And then even you can go all the way back to the end of the day. You can even go back to the end of the hour. And I can explain that in a bit. But what you do then is you build yourself a very clear step ladder to move forward. So once you've broken it all down to clear end goals, clear actionable steps, you know that if you achieve X amount of whatever the goal is, by the end of the month, you are more likely to achieve the dream. If you do all your end goals for the months and you end at the end of the year and you're on track, you know you're more likely to achieve your dream. If you get to the end of the month and you're not on track, you're not going to sacrifice your whole dream. You're just going to jiggle things around a bit so that next month you can catch up. It's much easier to catch up on a monthly target that's missed than, say, 10 years down the line. So you want to get your short little goals. You want to keep them on target as much as possible. So you get to your end of your month and you're, wow, I'm on target. That means I'm likely to get to my dream. End of the year, wow, I'm so close. If your dream is to achieve within a year, then break it down into daily and weekly and monthly end goals, so you can get to the end of the year and achieve your dream. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about SMART goals, but use SMART goal principles as well, because it does need to be realistic. It does need to be achievable. It does need to be something that you don't want to set yourself up for a pie in the sky that you're just not going to be able to attain. But equally, if you have a good, clear plan using my dream method, there's no reason why you can't predict what you can do, what you should be doing, and you should definitely stretch yourself by at least 100% more than you think you can do. You should definitely say, well, I can achieve this. Okay, in order to get my dream, let me just double that. Let me just push myself a little bit to get there. So end goals are super important, but they're also very rewarding. I find the greatest encouragement sometimes comes to me when I compare myself with myself a year ago, or I compare my progress with my progress a year ago. The worst thing you can do is compare your dream or your progress with someone else, because you don't know their story, you don't know what has underpinned what where they're at, you don't know what help and support. I mean, you just don't know anything or very little about them, and you can become so discouraged. I mean, of course I've done it, we've all done it. I've looked at competitors and I felt down in the dumps. It's like, oh, we're never going to get there. Or, looked at a nice house on the internet thinking I could never afford that. We've all done it, but it's never good. I've never been encouraged when I've looked at something I can't afford. I've never been encouraged when I've compared my business to someone else's. I've never felt good. But I've always felt good when I've looked back and compared myself with myself and my progress with my progress. I've always felt like, okay, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm so far from where I was a year ago. And that's also because I know that I'm working on those end goals. I'm working on my dream, and I'm on target. You won't go to an apple tree and look at little tiny baby green apples on the tree and look at those apples and just chop them all off, cut them all off, and put them on the ground, throw them away, because they're not edible, because they're not full-size, nice red apples. You look at the apple trees, the little baby apples that have just popped out of the beautiful blossoms that come in spring. And you know full well that it's a journey, it's a process. That little apple tree has to have time to grow to give you that yummy apple that you can eat in the future. And it's the same with our journeys. Why do we think that we can just do something and have instant success, instant gratification, instant results? You have to appreciate the journey and the process. And so having these end goals, it really helps. It helps you to measure, okay, I'm very far from where I want to be, but I'm definitely taking a step in the right direction. These end goals also allow you to make quick adjustments when you need to on the go, realizing that actually I've been doing this for a few months and it's really taken me in the wrong direction. Let's make a little tweak here so that I get back into the right direction. And then we all vary in our temperaments. You're either the kind of person who will make a plan and you'll stick to it perfectly, or you'll be like me and you'll make this brilliant plan. You'll spend weeks putting this plan in place and then you'll just go off and do stuff and then check inside, oh dear. What I found for people who don't enjoy sticking to the plan, what I found is when you write the plan, even if you file it, it's not ideal. You do want to have it out and visible, but if you write the plan, even if you write the plan and you tuck it away in a drawer and you come back to it 6 months or a year's time, you'll be amazed at how you may already have stayed on that path. You may not have done everything in detail. You might not have followed all the little tiny end goals, like the hourly ones or the weekly ones, but generally, once you've written the plan, you're more likely to be heading in the right direction than someone who never wrote the plan at all. So have a go, write down your end goals, write down the most detailed plan you can, spend time in, living in your dream and getting comfortable with what you're dreaming of, and be really clear in it. I've done business and business mentoring with many businesswomen over the years, and some businesswomen, they are just so lovely to be around. They're passionate, they're electric, they've got a great idea, they come for mentoring, we put a plan in place, and it's all looking really, really positive, really, really good. And this time frame is quite accurate as well. Around 6 months, they will change. They'll have another new big dream. And they will be so excited, and then we get together, we put another action plan together, and we invest some more money, not my money, because I know where it's going. They invest more money, and it's the sort of businesswomen who love the idea stage. It's like somebody who loves the beginning of a relationship stage, that honeymoon stage where all your hormones are fluttering all over the place and everything feels magical. The beginning of a relationship is just magical. You don't see the person's faults, you don't see the problems, you're just on this like hormonal high. And you get businesswomen like that are exactly the same in business. They're totally in love with the new beginning and the start, and then as soon as it becomes hard, or as soon as something doesn't go according to plan, they change again and they're off to the next relationship. And so some people will struggle with this, but if you've got your big dream, be sure that that's a dream that you're willing to, in good times and in bad times, in sickness and in health, make sure that dream is something that's big enough and exciting enough and comes from deep inside of you, that you won't quit when you hit a wall. Because the problem with this businesswoman who keep starting with their new, wonderful, exciting ideas is that they keep going back to start at year 1, hour 1, minute 1. And something I always say, and I always say to myself as well to encourage myself, is that the average overnight success takes about 20 years. So it's a bit of a joke, but it's true, If you want to have something and do something really great, it's going to take you about 10 to 20 years. So is your big dream, the one that we're talking about tonight, is your big dream something that you can stick with 20 yees? Can you see yourself? And changing that mindset in my business, changing that mindset, and I haven't even shared the dream of my business with you, but that's a whole nother story. But in terms of the business, when I've been discouraged, or when I've wanted to quit, or when I found it hard, I said to myself, well, you're already 8 years or 9 years into the 20 years. Giving up now would be ridiculous. Look how far you've come. And if you start again, you're starting at day 1. year one. And sometimes that's the only thing that keeps me going, is thinking I can't throw away 9 years of doing this. I've come so far, and then I'm going to have my 10-year anniversary this year. Actually, this October is our 10th Women's Business Conference anniversary. So that's our 10th anniversary. It's very exciting. And just imagine if I gave up at year 5 because I wanted to, and year 6 because I wanted to, and it was hard. And but yet I know that if I want to achieve this thing of greatness that I've always wanted to do, I've got to stick it out. I've got to get there to at least the 20 years. And so that's really, really important, that as you making your end goals in your dream, that you're having a long-term mindset, and that you are willing to make the short-term sacrifices for the long-term gain. So everybody else is out enjoying something fancy, something that you desire. It's not that you don't desire it, it's not that you don't want it. Everybody else is doing that thing, and you're not. You're sacrificing because you understand where you want to go. You understand your end goal, and you want your dream. And then you stick at it. You stick at it in good times and bad times, and you find somebody who will be your champion, so that when you really can't stick at it, they will say the things that you know you need to hear to keep you going. I have some champions, and I'm so blessed to have amazing people in my world. When I think, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, I can't do it anymore, or I'm a failure, or I'm a loser, and all those thoughts that we have, they just say one or two things, and that's enough. That's enough to keep me going. So that's the E for dream. Now the A, actions. So the A on your dream is forming the right habits. Newton's first law, the law of inertia, states that if a body is at rest or moving at a constant speed in a straight line, I'm reading this, it will remain at rest or keep moving in a straight line at a constant speed unless it's acted upon by a force. In layman's terms, because I had to look this up, what it means in layman's terms, an object at rest tends to stay at rest. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. If you want to achieve your big dream, you're going to have to be in motion. You can't be at rest because you're probably never going to get there. But if you're just willing to get some motion, get some activity, you're more likely to get there. And if you do the first part of the dream acrostic that I mentioned, you're more likely to get there and head in the right direction. Have you ever tried to push a car with a handbrake on, stationary car? Have you ever tried to push one? Go outside, I dare you, go outside and try push a car that's got the handbrake on. It's not going to move. If it does move, you're very strong. And imagine trying to steer a car that's got the handbrake on or doesn't have power steering and it's not moving. It's much easier to steer a car that's already moving. If you steer a car that's not moving, you're going to struggle to get that steering wheel going. And it's the same, with the law of inertia, with the law of motion. If we just get moving, other things will fall into place. And the action is key to you having your dream. And start small. Don't despise the small things. So just around COVID, when COVID hit, I decided I need to work on my fitness, on my health. I let myself go quite a bit, and I was really disappointed in myself, and I thought, no, I've got to sort this out. And so I started doing couch to 5K. And I did couch to 5K, got to the end, even tried to get a little bit further to 6K. Loved it. I loved it. And there were a few points, where it was a bit hard and I had to push through, but I got there and I absolutely loved it. And then I think, I don't know when, just before Christmas last year, maybe October time, I got COVID and I got a bit ill, stopped running. And then Christmas time came and I didn't run. And before you know, it's January. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I could run around the block anymore. I just totally lost everything I gained. And it's been incredibly hard this time around. It's been incredibly hard to try and get back into it. Much harder than the first time I did it. And I think the thing that I've been telling myself is, just do it once. Just put, even if I just put my gym clothes on, I already feel like I can do it. And the very final part of this dream acrostic is M, and that's mindset, right? If I can just think, visualize, see myself running, and remember how good it felt, then I'm more likely to get my gym clothes on. And when I've got my gym clothes on, I'm more likely to actually go out and have a run. And so I did the first one the other day. I took myself right back to the beginning of Couch to 5K. I thought, you know what, I'd rather do a little bit regularly than push myself and just not do it again. And it's the same for you. So that's a small example. That's just a fitness example. It's the same with healthy eating. If you want to, improve your diet, if you don't get some motion, some activity, you're never going to achieve the health goals that you want. A little bit of activity, make one small change. Swap out crisps for a salad or something else that you like picking on. Swap out sunflower oil for olive oil. Just small changes. Swap out sugary drinks for water. Swap out juice for water. Never swap out sugary drinks for juice. It's the same thing. Anyway, but the point I'm trying to make is if you just start to get some activity, and once you've got that momentum, it's much easier to then steer. It's much easier to then start getting on track with your big dream. But all the while you are not in motion, you are sitting, you're stationary. All the time you're just thinking about the dream. Even if you've written your end goals, even if you've reverse engineered it, even if you can taste it and see it and feel it, and you're just so right there present in your dream, even if you've done those 3 steps, if there's no action, if there's no activity, it's always just going to it's going to be a dream. You're never going to get any closer. So think about what your dream is. Think about what you're trying to do. Think about the dream for your health. Do you have a dream for your health? You can have a dream for your health. I do. I have a very clear picture in my mind of what the best, healthiest version of me looks like. And that's my true north. That's my lighthouse, my compass. That's what I keep working towards. And I'm not there yet, but I know that I have got some motion. I know that I am working towards it. I know that I eat healthy. I drink a lot of water. I exercise. I'm far from where I want to be, but I know that there's action, there's activity. And so what about your dreams? Do you have dreams for your relationships? Or are your relationships just things that they're there and they're either good or bad, depending on how you feel at any given moment? Or do you have a dream for your relationships? Do you have a dream for the type of friends you want to have or the type of friendships you want to have? Do you have a dream for the business relationships and the romantic relationships? Do you have a dream for the people that you want to spend time with? Do you see this? Or is it just something that happens? Because with all dreams, it's going to take people. With all dreams, you're not going to get to your big dream if you don't have the right people around you. They say you're likely to earn the average of the 5 people that you hang around with, and you're likely to become like the 5 people you hang around with, and you're the average of the books you read, and there's all these sayings. So do you have a picture of the people, of your relationships? Are you investing in your friendships? Are you building these amazing friendships? Because you will need them. Are you building these amazing relationships with your family or a romantic relationship? Are you actually intentionally building it? Are you working towards a dream, or are you just letting it happen and hoping for the best? Again, your relationships, if there's no activity, if there's no, okay, you don't have to do a spreadsheet for your relationships and put all your end goals and your financial things necessarily, but the principles still apply. So be intentional about every detail of your dream. Be intentional about the people that are in your dream. Be intentional about your health and your fitness. Be intentional about your finances. Be intentional about all the elements that make up your dream. And make sure there's some activity in all of them. If there's activity in just one area, so it's hard to demonstrate, I'll try to talk through an illustration. Say I had 5 people standing next to each other holding hands, and one of them represented health, and another relationships, and another finance, and another something else. I had 5 people representing 5 different areas of your life. They were holding hands, and you saw the career one take a step forward. and then you saw the relationship one take a step forward, and then you saw the career one take 4 steps forward, you know what's going to happen. The hands will not be able to hold anymore, and they will break. And so if we're not building every element of our life when we're building our dream, one element of our life could snap away from the rest, and the whole thing falls apart. And so let's be intentional about every element of our life and be active. Just little steps, little steps. Are you working on your health? Take little steps towards your health. Take little steps towards building healthier relationships. Take little steps towards building healthier finances. Take little steps towards building your business or your career. And before you know it, your whole life together, tight, is moving forward, closer to the dream. And then, as I said, the final one is mindset. It starts with your thoughts. And this is a topic that I'm so passionate about. I could keep you all night talking about it, but I won't. I promise to wrap it up soon. Your mindset, your thoughts. Like I said, when I was struggling to get myself back into gear with the running, I knew that it started in my mind. I knew that it wasn't a physical problem. I knew that it wasn't a weather problem. I knew it was a mindset problem. And if I could sort my mind out, if I could get my mind back in gear, I knew that the running would come quite easily. But the biggest battle was for me to get my mind into gear and say, right, I'm a runner. I enjoy running. I enjoy the feelings of what happens when I run, the endorphins that are released. I enjoy the results. I enjoy the health benefits. And so I had to keep telling myself and talking about it. But the key for me with the running was to close my eyes and see myself running. See it, just see it. And I tell you, when I did that, I wanted to go run. I wanted to, because the brain, your thoughts, your mind, it doesn't distinguish between what's really happening and what you're thinking. And that's why your dreams feel so real. And so if you keep thinking about running, your body's already getting into, let's go running. And it's so much easier to do. If you're struggling with sorting out your eating habits, it's because you're probably thinking about the food you want to eat. And so you're feeding your mind. Therefore, the activity is going to be eating the food you want to eat. And the rest of the dream's not going to work. So change the thought to change your cravings. Change your thought. If you start thinking about chocolate, refuse to dwell on that. Think about something. Think about raisins, maybe, because that's still sugary, to give you that sugar boost. Or think about a nice crisp apple. You know, like, start in your mind. And before you know it, you won't even think about chocolate. You'll just think about those yummy other foods that are good for your body. Also, the battles in our mind, as you know, there's imposter syndrome, there's FOMO, there's all these things that we face. Self-doubt, lack of confidence, it all starts in the mind. It's all about the thoughts that you think. And so we've got our dream, we've got our design your dream, we've got our, what was R? Reverse engineer, we've got our end goals, we've got our actions, all good and well. If you can't get your mindset right, you're just unlikely to achieve that. You have to be able to see it. You have to be able to, that's why I say right at the beginning, design your big dream in your mind, because then when you need to get your action, you start with your thoughts. You think about the big dream. It almost comes full circle, doesn't it? I have days when I like struggle, like all of you, and I'm like, I can't do this. And the first thing I have to do is not do more work, not work harder, not cry, although I might, but it's talk to myself, you know, say, right, you can do this. This is what you were born to do. This is who you are. Work on my mindset. And before you know it, I've just thought a few thoughts. I haven't even said it out loud. If I say it out loud, it has even more power. And then as soon as I've got my head straight and I'm thinking the right way, and I'm remembering why I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm remembering that there's a big dream at the end. There's this amazing business that I'm building that is helping women across the globe. This is important stuff. You know, how dare I just quit because I'm having a bad day? There's this beautiful farm that I want to get to. There's this healthy family that I want to spend time with. And there's all these things. So as soon as I start putting all those things in my mind and start thinking in the right way, say, right, you can do this. Or right, you've got to do this. Or don't let your children down. You know, this is for more than just you. Don't let the businesswoman in the network down. This is more than just you. This is about so many other people. Give myself a good talking to. And there are times, and I'm going to end with this, there are times when it's okay just to give yourself permission. Have that cry. Take a half day off. Go for a walk. Cut yourself some slack. And then sort your mind out. You know, feel your feelings, as Jordan always says. You know, be real. But then give yourself a time frame. Say, I had this friend of mine. She always used to say, I need a 5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes. And we had this agreement that we were allowed to whinge. 5 minutes, unashamedly said everyone for 5 minutes. At the end of the 5 minutes, that was it. No more complaining, no more whinging. And so if we really needed to get something off our chest, we'd say, I just need 5 minutes, and I'd understand what she meant. In the same way, you know, there's no harm, especially if you're running your own business, but even if you're in a job, you know, you can tell your employer, I'm taking a half day, I need to take a half day, and just go and have a bubble bath or whatever you need to do to just get yourself to a good place. And then make a decision. I've had my half day. I'm going to work on my mindset. I'm going to do my actions. I'm going to tick my end goals. I'm going to keep reverse engineering, and I'm going to smash it. I'm going to have that big dream. And so that's it, ladies. I hope that's helpful. I'm happy for any questions.
Sorry, that ended a bit abruptly. I'm happy for any questions. Send me an email if you have any questions. Angela@womensbusiness.club, and I would absolutely love to answer your questions or support you in your business journey. I also have some really cool resources available, so I'm going to quickly share my screen again. And I'm just going to show you what we have available to support you with your vision as well. So I hope you can see my screen now. So basically, this is a part of our website that's not yet on the platform, but everything's going to be moved over to the platform soon. So it'll be very easy for you to find stuff. But if you go type in your browser news.womensbusiness.club, and this is our news site. It has all our articles and news, but also more importantly, it has a few bits and bobs that you can buy, some resources or some freebies. So if you go to the site and then you pop onto the little shopping basket, don't click the word basket, but click on the actual basket. And then you'll go through to our vault where there's tons of resources. So there's loads in here, but what I propose you do is go to the search bar here and type vision. Click search, and this is where you'll find more resources to help you with your vision. So first of all, there's a vision mapping workbook, and this is a fantastic little tool that I tell you, it's got everything. It's crammed with everything imaginable to help you with your vision mapping. So I highly recommend this. It's a full workbook. You can buy it in a print or digital version, and it will really help you. It's a thorough, in-depth workbook to help you really unpick your vision mapping. And so it will look at things like, ideal clients. It will look at things like timescales and time management. And it really does help you go drill down into what your vision is and how to achieve it. And then the second thing we have here is a vision map. So a vision map, it's a big A1 planner, really. There's not actually a picture here, but it's a big A1 planner that you can stick up on your wall. You can buy the digital version to download and print if you have access to an A1 planner, or if you know somebody who does, or you can buy the print version and we'll pop it in the post for you. I love a good vision map. Every year I get my vision map and I color it in with all different colors. Each color symbolizes a different thing, and I map out my whole year. Every day, every month has to build towards the vision. Every week has to build towards the vision. Every day has to build towards the vision. And I map it out. Now, I promise you, it never goes according to plan. Like, you will never map, well, maybe you will, but I certainly haven't ever been able to map out my entire year every single day and have everything work out as it should. And it's not really the intention. For me, it's more a case of, first of all, mapping out my entire year. In fact, I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to talk to you face to face. But anyway, this is where you go to. There's also some webinars and videos and whatnot's available. Just search vision over on the new site. Anyway, back to the vision map. So the vision map is really useful in that for me, this is how it's useful for me, and I'm sure it will be similarly useful to you, but you can use it however you like. But for me, it's a case of, I know where I want to be by the end of the year, and I know what my big grand vision is. I then reverse engineer it down to months. What needs to be achieved each month to achieve that vision? What needs to be achieved each week and each day? I also blank out holidays and rest days. So I make sure that these are planned into my year. So in fact, that's my favorite thing to do. I take a nice yellow crayon and I color in all of the rest days. So for me, I rest every week on a weekly basis. I have a rest day. So every Saturday is a nice yellow. I color in all the Saturdays. Then I plan some holidays. I have a child at school still, so I do need to plan around the school holidays. So I'm relatively limited when I can color in those holidays. So I color in a nice August holiday and a nice December holiday, and those are my rest days. And so every time I look at my vision map, I can see, these nice yellow patches, and I know I'm going to have some rest days and holidays. And then what I do is I plan in all my key dates that are fixed, they can't change. Every October, we have our conference and awards across the country, now across the world, because we have one in South Africa as well. We're going to be launching in America. And so I try my best to attend all of these conferences and support our conference directors. And so I map out October, fixed dates, and then things like webinars like this, speaking engagements, etc., etc. I won't bore you with my diary, but I put in all my fixed dates. And then that leaves me with the rest of my time to see, with the rest of the time I have, how can I achieve my vision? And then I start looking at key activity. I start looking at things like, okay, I need to take some days in halves then, because I need to do half fee earning activity, half admin. I can't get caught up in admin for days on end, even though I would be very happy there and love it there. I'd run out of money very quickly and Women's Business Club wouldn't exist. So I have to make sure I'm focused on half day fee earning activity, half day admin or creative. I love creating resources. I love writing, and so that sort of thing. But I definitely have to divide up my days, and so I do that, and I write what I'm doing in each day. And then by the end of the month, I need to be able to account for a few targets. Does the plan I have put down on my vision map for this month give me the results I want? If not, I need to go and tweak. And so I do that for the whole year. I map out the whole year, and at the end result is just this big colorful A1 planner stuck up on my wall. And then because it's in front of me, I can keep looking at it and checking that I'm on track. And most importantly, that I'm not distracted. But my final thought on the vision map is just, I have this very fixed plan, but there's flexibility within it. Like this morning, I went and spent the morning with my daughter. That wasn't on the vision map. That was spontaneous. But I needed to, and I did, and I allowed myself the morning. You don't plan those things, so there has to be some flexibility in it. And it worked out well. I didn't have things in my diary, and it worked out well, and I could do it. I happened to be in the area, etc., etc. It all worked out. I'm a huge fan of vision map. Get yourself a vision map, even if you use it loosely, even if you use it, planning down to the nitty-gritty half days like I do. It's a very useful tool, even if it's just for clarity. Even if you stick it up on your wall and you forget about it, even that planning process has given you more clarity. But I guarantee you, if you do stick it up on the wall, you will keep looking at it, like I'm showing you now, looking to the right, seeing it, and it will guide you. It will help you throughout your year. So that's it. My time's up. We've had a power hour. I hope you enjoyed our time together. I hope you enjoyed hearing from the other me. I had fun watching myself and taking notes and learning from myself as well. And I hope you enjoyed our little platform. And I will definitely keep you updated with new features that will be released from time to time. So that's for me. I'm going to pop you a quick email now to touch base, see if you have any questions. And I will tell you about the event that's coming up next month. So have a fantastic day, and thank you so much for joining me.